let's break into it. I got to see Alien 2 times. You decided to wait to have it as fresh as possible for the stream. No one has heard this man's thoughts. So with that, the new Alien movie to be out in theaters, some people have had it divisive, some people have said it's the best, some people have said it's the worst. Zachary Shevich, what's your call?
Can I go in the middle? Do I have to be so definitive? I definitely had a really good time with it. It's as I said, the Alien franchise is a meeting between some of the most horrifying stuff you can imagine, some of the most interesting sci-fi stuff you can imagine. So you're getting the best of both genres, and I think Fede Alvarez does a really good job of realizing the space adventure aspect of it. Like there's this the old creaky ship, and all those sequences are quite well realized, but then there is just the looming suspense and the horror of being chased around these narrow corridors by the facehuggers and xenomorphs and such. And I don't know, I thought particularly the first half was incredibly tense, incredibly suspenseful. It has a lot of really gnarly moments that are like feel pretty novel as well too. Whether it's some of the stuff that they do with the melting blood or whatever you want to call it, or the just the whole sequence with the whole sequence in the beginning with the facehuggers as well. I don't know. This is a franchise that I feel like normally does deliver in terms of entertainment, and it's just how much you connect to like the story around it and how deep you find that ultimately like proves to me which ones sort of feel like they will last. And I thought this was a pretty cool spin on it. I think a lot of people have been noticing that this is like a much younger cast than we normally get in these movies. Caitlin and I were joking that it's almost like teen Alien or something like that, with a bunch of fresh faces. They're not so hard worn as the characters from previous films, but I think that also does help give it something kind of fresh, and they feel a little bit more naive in moments as well. So I had a good time with it, but I know that this is a franchise that means a lot to you. So you tell me, is this one of the best ones? Is this in the middle, or is this not even close to an Alien classic?
I don't think I've talked about Alien on this podcast, so I don't know if you know my love for Alien like that. You don't know how much I care for it. You don't know if this billboard back here has been an alien one the whole time.
I don't know if we've done much on Intercut because we haven't had an Alien movie in a while, but like, come on, man, I know you. Yeah. We host Covenant. A podcast together.
Look, there's a lot from the prequels in Covenant and Prometheus that I like. I thought it delivered on everything that it needed to be. The fact that it was shot fully in IMAX, Fede coming in to do the horror aspect of it, all of that fired on all cylinders. I heard you mention the young cast. Was like when you saw it, was it really that jarring? Because I feel like people are making up some stuff with this. No one wants an old cast. The young cast makes sense. It fits with the story.
I'm not talking about like just that they're new characters. I'm talking about like Cailee Spaeny looks like a teenager to me, and maybe part of it. Sorry,
I don't think you think it's a problem, but I was like, why did people make that such an issue?
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like I think a lot of people are used to maybe like the more character actor ensemble, and also I think maybe some people think of the sort of like cynical idea that like, oh, maybe you get a young cast in here, so you get like people who are trendy, celebrity kind of, like it. There's like there's a cynical way to read it, but I didn't read it cynically. I thought that it reflected in the story of how these people are, kind of being taken advantage of in a way.
Easily. I thought I've heard him talk about that when you get a young cast, it's a lot better than an 80-year-old dying. Because you already know that person lived their life. But a young cast, it's like they're barely at their beginning stages. They're representing these people who want to leave this place. I've heard them say that it was a little CW-ish, which that's a critique I've used a couple of times. And I can see it with Dora. A lot of people may recognize her. I think the boy Archie is definitely a very good-looking dude. I don't know, bro. Maybe it's just me because I'm a big Cailee fan. I think she's adorable, but I think she's also able to fit into places. I think some people are overdoing the thing on like Spike. This man been in one movie. I think he fits in as your regular whippersnapper. His partner of Aileen, she's only been in one movie also. I thought it worked very well, especially for the story of them wanting to go to this other place. I do think that the standout besides Cailee was David Johnson. We've been talking about this man on this podcast for a long time. Y'all know we've been shouting out Rye Lane. Industry is streaming now, even though I don't think he's on it anymore. And good, because he has made the jump. And he is fantastic in this movie, dude.
He's a legit star.
He's so good.
He's really, really good in this movie. I think really elevates it as well. I just think he has a real presence. There's the kind of like a mystery to how he delivers his lines. It's hard to get a full read on him, but in a way that makes you lean in, not lean out, if that makes any sense.
Just the fact that he does a lot of expressions with his face, and I never thought how well that would compute with a robot character. And I love the relationship between him and Spaeny, because obviously there's a siblings through line that they have in the movie. The effects, like you were saying, it's finally a horror in space again, like the first Alien. I don't know how you rank your Alien movies, be it Alien, Aliens. I don't know, maybe you an AVP fan, bro. I don't know. But
Definitely
I thought the mix of the two was very smart. Did you get bothered by the references? Because to me, I can do without all the references, and I still think there's a good movie here. I keep being surprised by the fact that some people are coming out saying and admitting that it's a good movie, and then they mad about one line and they throw it all away. Zach, is that the internet age, or am I just blinded and there really is too much fan service where people can only mention two things?
Maybe. I've never been the kind of person who will let like a single small moment take away from the 90, 120 minute experience. I mean, I think there are moments where it maybe feels a little bit too connected to the first movie for like my liking. I kind of was willing and interested in letting this stand alone a little bit more. There are some elements with characters who come back, which are my least favorite aspects of this movie. But it was nothing that made me like, I don't know, turned me on the movie. Nothing that I didn't feel like it overpowered what was new, what felt fresh about Romulus.
Because you're immune to the fan service, I'd say, for the most part. Like, you're not going to get baited by it. So you know how to like see it for what it is. And
I like these movies, but I have no like great desire to see, what happened
you're not pulling the meme.
Exactly. I'm not Leo DiCaprio here.
But for the big ones, I would say there's a major quote. I don't want to spoil it. There's been this idea that now it's okay to spoil things. I don't know. There's like a morality police. I've never seen atheists be so religious and zealot about certain things nowadays, because there are some instances where they do throwbacks to other movies. One is a quote in particular. We'll start with that one. I think that if you have never seen any of these movies and you sit down and watch that, like really just for the first time, I don't see how that isn't such a badass quote.
Right.
In reference to the other movie, yeah, it's pretty corny. It's pretty corny. But I do think they kind of answer it within the movie. But I do see there really being a problem with a certain character that appears. I'll put it that way. A lot of people want to spoil what it is. I did not get that spoiled for me when I went to go see it, so I got to experience it and also vomit almost in my mouth. I love this movie, and I can even tell you, I don't see any reason for that. There's some inkling story-wise, but this is a movie that's boasting practicals, and they got the ugliest looking sequences when it comes to these scenes. How did you feel about that? Because we've been very vocal about Disney in particular casting this stuff.
I mean, well, Disney has seen over a lot of movies that feel really stuck in the past, right? There are all these franchises, and Star Wars is probably the best example of this, where there is a path forward to launch into new territory and stick behind your new characters, and instead they are so focused on retreading old territory, focusing on characters from the legacy films, that it almost undermines what's new and exciting about these films. And we're also now in territory where CGI has made it just so much more possible to do these things, but are they doing them well enough? Are we getting another, young Harrison Ford in the latest Indiana Jones sequel situation? Like, I just don't
The
think...
Irishman, right?
Yeah.
I'm always belittling that Irishman scene as much as I love it. It takes you out of the movie.
It takes you out of the movie. And just because we can doesn't mean we should in a lot of these scenarios.
Honestly, yeah.
Look, as recently as Iron Man 2, probably since then too, we did this in the Fantastic Beasts, right? We used to just recast actors, right?
Game of Thrones is one of the best
Howard
ones.
became
They do it a lot.
Don Cheadle. Johnny Depp
Yes.
became, what was it? Colin Farrell? Oh no, Mads Mikkelsen.
Mods. Yeah.
It's fine. Like, people will get over it. This is a tradition in films. If you tell me, oh, this person is now Rhodey, I get it. I'm not like, but how is that possible? How did he transform?
Yeah. And the worst part is I think that this... Go for it.
I was just going to say, I think there's just this weird reluctance to stick by new actors.
Yeah. And it's crazy because even Fede said... It's because when they were doing this process, some people said, "Oh, you're taking jobs from new actors," and he goes, "It's the complete opposite. It actually costs more. It takes like 4 times the money. You got 45 people working on effects. You still got to hire a voice actor, and it's almost like,
and it looks 4 times uglier."
Wait, did you even want to do this? Like he was giving every reason why not to have that up on screen. And yeah, I don't know, it just doesn't work. This has been the one thing that I have not heard any fan, even the ones who swallow every Easter egg that comes their way. No one has really praised this. No one has really liked it. I've seen some people like the line, even though it's a callback and maybe even a little derivative. They're like, yeah, but it looks cool in the scene. All right, I feel that. I have heard nothing about this. And the worst part is that some people have taken it, right, and they've like, oh, it ruins the whole movie. I don't think it's that. Like, it's bad, but it's not pivotal to the point that if you were to swap out the face for it to be another actor, there's nothing else to change in that character. The character still serves the purpose of being that anchor up in space that's almost trying to mess with them. So it's like,
Right.
I see some of the criticisms, and it's like, other than being on a moral high ground, which for sure, if they've cleared it with the family and whatever else, the most you could do is just roll your eyes and be like, it ruins that aspect of the movie. But
Yeah.
it doesn't ruin the whole movie for me, in my opinion, you know?
Yeah. I was going to
It's
ask you
just
about
a
that
trend
because
that Disney has.
there are a lot of people who just, it kind of has become like a line in the sand that they will not cross. And there are situations where I find it to be
performative, I
a
think.
lot uglier and a lot worse. I don't know. I don't want it to happen, but I still enjoy the movie.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of other ways to do it. Specifically like this, if I were to pitch you, I thought that if they were going to do another Andy, oh, that would have worked so well with Andy's story. Just the idea that you already have these siblings, does he fit in? And then he sees someone else like him, because that's what that character already serves. So for it to also be a spitting image of him, I'm not sure. I'm led to believe with the interviews that I've heard that it's actually Ridley. A lot of people want to blame my boy Fede, but it's Ridley, because Ridley had those prequels that he was leading up to something. And this is kind of remnants of that. It's been really funny to hear a lot of people go back and like re-edit what their favorites are. Some people saying that they like 4 and stuff. I don't believe you. I think you're a lying, thieving adulterer at heart. I rewatch these movies, and I know you're just trying to do clicks. But when it comes to the prequels, I think it's fair if you're a bigger Alien to Aliens fan, if you like Prometheus and Covenant. But if you like Prometheus and Covenant, y'all gotta chill, bro, because this movie is that. It's the remnants of what Ridley wanted to do. That's why we have that character. That's why we have some of the scenes where they literally call back Prometheus with certain substances. And I'm curious to see where they take that, because I don't know if you got this at your screening, but Hulu's also got a show called Alien Earth.
Yeah, Alien Earth.
Remember when Prometheus came out that didn't have Alien? It was literally just called Prometheus. Like, if you have a collection, it's ruined. You got to go to the P's. They then made him call it Alien Covenant. And I don't know if you've ever seen the logo. Like, when they put Alien Covenant, Alien is so big and Covenant is so tiny. It was all a marketing thing. They have realized that people are so dumb. Y'all who are supporting Ridley now should have supported him when he was making the stuff. Alien Earth is another one where it's called Alien Earth, but they're almost doing the Monarch thing where they're going to be focusing on the Wayland Corporation.
Yep.
So for a lot of the people complaining about this one and it being too much of the callbacks and too many, that's funny, too many aliens in an alien movie. Once we start with the Wayland stuff, I'm curious to see how people are going to take that because I feel that's going to be a full drama. That's coming from a showrunner that's done Fargo and a lot of other FX stuff. And I think that's going to be really good. But to kind of wrap with this movie.
Yeah, and just to put a button on that, Alien Earth is going to be on FX Hulu sometime in 2025.
Oh, we gotta wait till you? Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. I'm happy to see the like behind the scenes when it comes to the bureaucracy of the company.
Right.
But they've also said Hulu has Prey. My man did Aliens. I would love to see a co-director collab. Can you think other than brothers, any co-director collabs?
Yeah, it's
Like,
strange.
Is it the
I
Russos?
can't. Or what was the Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez thing? I don't know if that even counts, though, because they kind of made their own movies. Planet Terror?
You're
was
right,
that
but
what
that
it
is
was called?
the closest. Yeah, the Grindhouse. Yeah, that is the closest thing. Because when
it doesn't happen often.
Like, right? How cool would that be? Not even just because it's Alien versus Predator, but just the conceit, the idea of two directors coming in to hash it out. I don't know. I really like that. I think streaming may make that a possibility. So I would be game for something like that because I think the AVP movies are dumb fun. So to actually have some good directors behind it, I think would be really cool. And Fede, like I said right there, with the Don't Breathe movies, Evil Dead, Alien, all this stuff is to me a horror director who is not playing by the rules. I love the fact that he went into Alien and made it his version of what he wanted to see. The gore, there's specific shots with the facehugger. That thing was nasty, bro. I rewatched Prometheus and too much of it was CGI. I think you can feel it when you got practicals going down these poor kids' throats. That last sequence, I don't know if you heard who plays a certain bit towards the end, but it's a basketball player. I don't know if you've heard anything of this.
Yeah. He's what, a Romanian basketball player or something like that?
Bro, Wise, when you search him up, isn't he scarier in real? Isn't he scarier since that's a movie and he's actually on our Earth?
Right? Like, you're supposed to be scared of the creature in the movie, but he looks like that in real life.
It's like the wind's holding him back and stuff. But that's what makes that final sequence so good, because you're looking at that and it's an actual person that they're reacting to. When the cast was coming out saying, like, y'all aren't ready, it's because I don't think they were ready. I think they really were scared with what was in front of them. I don't know. It worked so well. I really like the horror aspects to it. I think this is a movie that really knows how to hold on the tension. I think the space scenes were beautiful, dude. I would go as far as to say it's some of the best space shots we've gotten since Gravity.
Yeah, it does feel like epic and fully realized in a way. It's really well done. I'm curious how you felt about the pacing of the movie, because I'm seeing a lot of people complain specifically about the ending.
How so? What'd they say?
I don't know. I mean, I'm as you know, I had a flat tire and only got to see the movie this morning, so I waited to read some of the spoiler thoughts. So I'm seeing just a lot of people say that it blew it in the third act, and I don't know. I kind of dug the third act.
It's because they lying, Zach. I'm telling you, bro. I've been hearing people say some of the weirdest stuff. I saw someone pitch like, I saw some people saying, why not kill the aliens with their acidic blood? Zach, would you like to answer the most obvious question? Why the acidic blood that lives within the aliens wouldn't hurt the aliens, bro? I think it's just a matter of giving way too many people opinions. And I was kind of telling Alina this. We have this realm where you look at the movies online, right? Like this. You got a decent score. You can go check the IMDb. You got a decent score. But like you said, you hear a lot of people complaining. I think you look at the Deadpool scores. I think you look at the Trap scores. I think whatever the score is telling you and whatever you're hearing just showcases to you that we have allowed the internet, like I said, to allow everyone to scream, complain, and say whatever they want. But I don't think they really believe it. We were just talking about people are re-reviewing Prometheus and they're re-reviewing Covenant. Now they like them. So, Zach, what does that say? I got to wait 10 years for them to like Romulus? I'm not waiting, bro. I'm here. I enjoyed it for what it is. It's good. This idea of pacing, I think, is just like, I don't know, baby's first critique. They're learning new words to say that I guess they don't have to fully like defend. Because when it comes down to like actual points, I think what he did here was fantastic. I think this is a movie where, regardless of all the fan service that's done there, the characters, the story, and the themes, I think, were able to elevate a lot of what this Alien franchise is known for. Not just of the, honestly, xenophobia that these things are supposed to represent, this journey of these people wanting to leave, and again, a robot story that I think is fully fleshed out. And I am one who wants to see Ridley finish the prequels. He's supposed to have one more installment. And if you guys are complaining about this one, not realizing he's producer on this one, it has elements of his trilogy in this one. You're the ones shooting yourselves in the foot. Go watch Alien Romulus. I think it's going to be the start of getting a lot more movies out there for the Alien franchise as we're in a sort of reboot. I definitely see this as a legacy follow-up, but I think if we had a barometer of what is a good version, to me, this is one of the best versions. Even if a line or two stretches it a bit, I'm not throwing 2 hours out the window for 2 lines. It's a fantastic film.
Yeah, definitely. I had a really good time with it. I kind of wanted to see it again on a less frantic day. I ended up going 3.5 stars on it. I saw you went 4. Should we go with the 3.5 in the heart for the Intercut account, Letterboxd account?
But when you rewatch it and you give it 4, I expect you to post 4.
All right, 3.5
3.5
and a heart.
And a patch.